And there we go. All right. Well, welcome everybody to SongNet. Uh, Today we have a very special guest speaker. Originally, we were trying to get to James Koshin, who I met at Taxi. He's been one of the rock stars at Taxi for a few years now, and he's one of the most popular guys there. And then he said, "Well, I got something that came up, unfortunately, and somebody passed, so he's got busy." But then he said, "But I've got another friend that might be able to do it." So he called Matt Vander. And if you've ever seen a Taxi ad, uh, basically Matt is the poster child for Taxi. He's got a lot of really good stuff going on. He's a very vibrant personality, and I think he's probably one of the most successful, if not the most successful, Taxi members. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what's happening. So we're very very fortunate to have him here because he'll be able to tell you firsthand from experience why things get placed and why things don't get placed, and because he's got a lot of placements. Um, but more than that, he's a real nice regular guy, and I'll let him go ahead and tell you more about him. So Matt, welcome, and go ahead and tell us all about what you do.
Okay. Well, hey everybody. Thanks for having me with you. Let's see a little bit about me. I've been in this side of the production music business for 15 years now, or maybe it's 16. But I think it's 15 years, and it's been my full-time job for the past 10 years. So it took about 5 years for me to go from knowing absolutely nothing at all and not even really knowing how to run Pro Tools, which I had just bought when I decided I wanted to try my hand at this thing. And it took 5 years and a lot of effort and a lot of rejections and just a lot of heartache and disappointment along the way. But I just never gave up. I guess I tell people my superpower is not music; it's just being too stubborn to know when to quit. And so I just kept going where I saw many people flaming out and throwing in the towel after a year or two when they didn't see the instant results that they wanted. And I guess the beauty of me is I always knew that I wasn't that good, so I wasn't really expecting instant results. I would have liked them, of course, but there was nothing instant in my world. It took 5 years of constant grinding and building up a royalty income stream that got to the point where I was able to. Whoops. Oh, are you guys still there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, what just happened here? Something popped up. Oh, sorry, that was on my end. I had a dialog box pop up and I tried to get rid of it and I dumped the Zoom thing. Okay. So, yeah, just it took a long time. I finally got to the point where my royalties were eclipsing that of what I was doing at the time, which I was a full professor at Boise State University, teaching in their audio production communication department. And I live about 30 to 45 minutes away from the university. So anytime I had to go teach, I was an hour and a half on the road. And I just got to the point where I just didn't want to do it anymore. And when the money I was making from music finally eclipsed what I was making at the university, I was like, see ya, suckers. And I didn't renew my contract and I walked away and was able to really go full time with music. And that's when I really started seeing some exponential growth. And that was about 10 years ago that all this happened. And really the trick to any of this stuff is you just got to saturate the market with product and eventually everything starts making you little bits of money. Well, maybe not everything, but a lot of things start making you little bits of money, and a little bit on its own isn't enough to do anything for anybody except buy you some coffee. But if you have 100 different things or 1,000 different things all making little bits of money and you add it all together, it can turn into a fairly sizable paycheck. So that's unfortunately, that's just something that you don't get until you've been doing this for years and years and years and just have a really big catalog out there working for you. And so that's really what I concentrate on. My real specialty is instrumental cues, as opposed to vocal songs. Although I do make a lot of vocal songs and I've gotten a lot of placements and syncs with those things, that's a small fraction of what I really do because I work so fast and I've really turned this into a churn and burn factory here in my room. And I'm able to pound out instrumental cues very quickly and I get them right out to the people who want them and they wind up on TV shows fairly quickly. So that's kind of the path I've carved out for myself in this music business. And it's not glamorous, like nobody knows who I am. But who cares? I'm able to go on vacations and take my daughter cool places with money that I never would have had before. So, anyways, that's a little bit about me. More than you
Yeah.
wanted to know, probably.
No, that's quite a lot. And also, on those taxi ads, it shows a little like tough shed.
Yeah.
Was that for real? I mean, is
Yeah,
that?
that was for real. Yeah, I'm not there anymore. So that was my old house, and I sold that house and bought this house I'm currently in. So this is my workspace. This is a room that's above a three-car garage. So it's really sizable up here, which is nice. But my previous house, when I decided I really wanted to make a go at this, I had a shed built in my backyard. And Jimmy, it wasn't the Tough Shed company, but it was a very similar. Like you go into this company and you tell them the dimensions of a shed that you want. They prefabricate all the stuff there at the shop and then they bring it out on a trailer. And two guys had this thing constructed in about 3 hours. And it was just a shell. But me and my dad, we finished it and, did all the insulation and the drywall and painting and carpet and everything. And I built this little cool studio in my backyard at my old house. And it was, what were the dimensions on that? 10 feet by 14 feet. So not very big at all. I mean, basically like a guest bedroom in your house. And that's where I worked for 10 years. And no, wait, I guess it wasn't 10. It was more like 7 or 8. But yeah, that was awesome. I love that little room. Just out, it was in my backyard. The problem with that is in Idaho, we do get a fair amount of snow in the wintertime. I'm in Idaho, just outside of Boise. And like walking through that snow, heck, I didn't like it after a while. So now I never have to go outside, which is nice.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Okay, so before we start, anybody else have any questions or any comments you want to say?
Matt, you may want to define production music. I'm not sure if everybody knows what that term means exactly.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, production music is kind of a broad term. I think there's a new buzzword that's kind of come around in the past couple of years. People are calling it sync music. I don't know if you guys have heard that one, SYNC. So music that is designed to be synchronized or synced to a TV show. It's just music that is written specifically for use in TV shows. And that's really used primarily with these instrumental cues, which really, they serve the purpose of being stock music, basically, that an editor at a TV show can just drag and drop these completed pieces of music into their video production for whatever TV show they're working on, whether it's The Real Housewives or Impractical Jokers or Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen from Hell or, whatever it is. They're editing the TV show together, but they need music to create some type of emotional impact. Because I mean, these reality shows, there's nothing to them. It's just people griping at each other. So the way that that's really given a sense of gravity is through the music. And so production music is just all these 90-second to 2-minute instrumental tracks that are in various genres and moods and tempos. And these editors just drag them in like boom, just it's like, stock photography. If you were ever back in the days of putting picture or like, posters together, you'd grab a stock photo and throw it in. It's the same thing with music. It's just stuff that it basically is wallpaper for a TV show. But if it weren't for the music that me and people like me make, TV would have been dead a long time ago because no one would watch this stuff. Does that answer your question, Steven? I don't even
I
remember what the
think so.
question
Yes,
was
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah. No, I hear you. I remember one of my songs was placed in Bad Girls Club, and so
There we
I had
go.
to watch. I had to watch it to see where the song was, and I watched about 20 minutes of the show, and I said to myself, "This is like the downfall of Western civilization." You know, like you said, it's so bad.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and the biggest users of production music are reality TV shows.
Okay.
And they run this stuff basically from the opening bell all the way to the closing credits. I mean, music is just nonstop. They'll take little breaks here and there of like 3 to 5 seconds, and then they're right into the next piece of music. And in every half-hour reality TV show, you're going to hear probably about 50 different pieces of music that they'll use in like 8 to 20 second bursts. And when I say reality shows, I'm not necessarily just talking about stuff like The Real Housewives or, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. The real term for reality TV is unscripted television. And so that's anything that doesn't have a script, from the cooking shows to the home remodeling shows to the, 16 and pregnant. All of like the shows that follow around the 600 pound, like what's it called? My 600 pound life. I mean, this is all unscripted reality TV. It's just a camera crew recording things. They don't know what the story is really going to be until they get to the editing room. And that's so different from scripted TV, which is what you'll find on all the networks, CBS and ABC and Fox, and what am I missing? NBC. And those shows actually have a script, and they surprisingly don't use that much music at all. It's reality TV is where the production music is the biggest hit.
Yeah, and then also a taxi point was brought up where AI is starting to do a lot of that kind of a thing now, because it is a lot cheaper than hiring an artist to create stuff, but also some of it's actually pretty good. So I don't know. What do you think about that?
I don't even have an opinion on it because I've never used it. I might have heard a bunch of AI music and not really known it. But I'm at the point where I have like I've dug in my uh, stubborn boots into the ground, and I'm like, I refuse to even use Chat GPT. I don't even know how to use it. I've never used it, not even for a prompt like how do you make a lasagna. I don't do it for anything, just because I don't want anyone to ever question the authenticity of my music. And so if I ever start dabbling in AI, that just opens up a Pandora's box, and I just don't want to go there with my own music. And that's not to say that it's right or wrong. That's just personality quirk on my end. But I don't know if they're making, if good music is being made in the production world. I do know a lot of music libraries have clauses that are preventing people from using AI, but honestly, I don't know how they police that. It seems like, if someone is using a loop, then that would be fairly easy to detect because there's an audio fingerprint of it. But an AI thing is kind of an original composition just created by a computer. I don't know how you find out if someone used AI. So it's way out of my league.
Okay. Well, if no one else has anything to talk about, we can go ahead and start listening to some music. So, Steve, what we got?
I'm just going in more or less chronological order, and let me put the order in the chat just so you'll have a sense of what's coming up here. So first will be Ed Lackey, and the name of the song is Breeze. So what I do is bring up the share. Let's see here. Oh, there it is.
It's an instrumental, by the way.
Okay.
Nice job, Ed.
Thank you.
So I should ask you a question, and maybe I'll have everyone answer this question before their music plays. So Ed, you're going to be answering this on the backside. But when I mentor people here in Boise, Idaho, I've got a group that meets at my house about every 8 weeks or so. And anytime someone new comes to the group and plays their music, I always have them specify what their goal was with the music that they wrote. So, and I think we can probably identify like three goals. And Ed, maybe you fit into one of these three categories, or maybe there's a fourth I'm not thinking of. But the first category would be that you want this music to land in a TV show somewhere and make, get some type of sync fee maybe, or at least royalties on the back end and churn you money through being on TV. The other thing that you might have been doing with this song is just making like music that you would perform on stage somewhere. So kind of like a live performance thing, or something that you want someone else to cover or do something with. And then the third way that, or the third thing is maybe you're just making it for your own self-enjoyment artist project. And that's good too. But your answer to what your goal was with this music will shape the comments that I'm going to make to everybody here, because there's a different target with each of those desired outcomes. And so I just kind of need to know what you guys intend with your music. So Ed, we'll start with you.
I would say that I'd like to get it out there so people could listen to it and enjoy it. But this is one of my more recent ones, and I just did it, so haven't finished it yet.
So when you say just get it out for people to enjoy, are you talking about just like emailing out some MP3s of it, or putting it on some streaming services?
Possibly a streaming service, yes.
Okay. Well, so if you are just looking for other people to hear your music and enjoy what they listen to, then all bets are off. I mean, you really do whatever you want, and there's no right or wrong way to do it, because it's your music and people will either like it or they won't. And you can't really control that. But there are much more strict rules when it comes to writing music for someone to sing over the top of, or writing music that lands on a TV show. So since you're not targeting one of those things and you just want people to listen to it and enjoy it, then it was an enjoyable thing to listen to. And I really wouldn't want to give you any more feedback than that, just because this is music you're making for yourself, for other people to listen to. You're not looking to make money off of it. I mean, maybe you are. But there's just not a whole lot of rules to the goal that you have. So just keep doing what you're doing. Is there anything you would like me to comment on those specifically, Ed?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Okay, we can move on to the next one. This is from Kurt Thompson. And Kurt, you want to talk about the song a little bit?
Sure, yeah. So in terms of the goal of the song, I think you could call it self-enjoyment or something like that, but I write a lot of music to like process emotions and stuff like that. So that's for me, and then I hope that connects with other people. So when they listen to it, it's somewhat helpful for them. And then secondary goal, I guess, is that I hope it makes money, whether that's from performing or like maybe placed, maybe an indie film or something like that would be where I would think most of my stuff might have placement opportunities. So I'd be curious to get thoughts on the song from those perspectives.
Okay, cool.
Is this the end?
It's chopping up pretty bad, Steve.
Yeah.
Try going to mono. Okay, original sounds okay.
See, let's try it now.
Still chopping.
Really?
Original sounds on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
His voice constant keeps measuring potential I destroy. Said I'm never enough, always too much. I'm never enough and I'm always too much. I'm mapping all out, certain of doubt. Can't find the middle, can't find the middle. Of you, a plane has to tragedy to go. An empty stage, perfect place for my character to grow. I stepped inside and through the blind and found a shattered mirror. Each piece can show the beauty of a face still full of fear.
Okay.
Well, Kurt, from what I could hear of it, it sounded
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Thanks. Yeah, that's too bad. I think I need to do 128 kilobytes instead of 256, so I'll keep that in mind for next time.
Yeah, maybe that was it. So yeah, I really can't give you a whole lot of commentary, but in reading the lyrics, those seem like words that would be very usable and appropriate for a lot of TV programming, because there's always characters on screen on all sorts of shows that are feeling those emotions.
Sure.
And so without being able to totally hear the music, it did have like a cool kind of a indie emo rock vibe.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, which was cool. That's a style of music that is really not in my wheelhouse. So I can't tell you what the usage potential of that style of music is. But it seems like it could be a contender to make you money somewhere. And if you had more of that kind of thing, then you're probably on the path to making some headway and getting
Awesome.
placements.
So you, as far as the next step, that's a little bit out of your wheelhouse, you're saying? Like
That
who I would
is,
talk to? Okay.
yeah, because I don't know enough about that music to tell you what shows are using it,
Mhm.
or even what music libraries would represent that catalog to their clients. What I would tell you though, Kurt, is, and here's a little piece of advice for everybody here. Watch some TV shows, like watch a handful of shows and see if any of them are using the kind of music that you make. And when you find one that does use that kind of music, then go to the credits of the show. And at the end, there'll always be a line that says music provided by. And sometimes it'll be one music library. Sometimes it'll be 2 or 3. I think the most I've ever really seen is 4 music libraries will service shows. And so if you know that a show is using your brand of emo indie rock and you've seen it on TV being used, then reach out to those music libraries and say, hey, I was watching a show. I don't know if you're the one that had that music specifically, but I did see that you service that show and I have music just like it. And I'd love to have you take a listen.
Brilliant. Yeah, that's great advice. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I wish I had some leads for you there, Kurt.
Oh, that's quite good though. Yeah, it's a great idea.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, just start watching a bunch of shows. You're probably not going to hear that kind of music on any of the urban-based reality TV shows. because they're going to be more in the urban hip hop realm. Whereas the emo, I don't even know what shows to tell you to start with, but you'll find something.
I'll work on it. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, next is a song by Art Corey. Art is a friend of Ed's, and Art had a heck of a time trying to sign in for some reason. So we'll go ahead and play it. He's listening on YouTube, and so we won't have his commentary to begin with, but we can take a quick listen. How about that? Okay, let me.
He writes music for radio, and he's had several hits in Canada.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Ed. Yeah.
So Ed, do you think that's what this is geared for?
Pretty much. When you listen to it, you'll see what he does.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Just wanna see that lady again. Mama Della and a good time friends. High stepping woman with sea salty hair. If the road was hot, she'd walk on it. She'd walk on it. Herb was the best old friend she had. Coming round when the weather was bad. Knew we could always count on a buck and a place to park his ice cream truck. That ice cream would melt. I just love to see her face once more. Mama Della dancing out her door, shaking it up, causing such a stir. Spirit of life is a moving her. Yes, it is.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, that was cool. Steven, remind me of this guy's name.
Oh, it's Art Corey.
Okay, and he's watching on YouTube.
Right.
Okay, so Art, yeah, we don't know what your goal is with this music, but Ed said that you have had some success with the radio, so we're just going to assume that that's might be your target with this thing. I guess my biggest question that I would have for you would be, what genre is this music? And maybe this is a better question that doesn't go to you, Art, because I want to see who amongst this group in the audience can identify that genre of music.
I'd call it like jazz rock.
Who said, oh, Kurt, jazz rock? Is that even a thing?
I make it a thing if I can.
Is that one you just made up? I mean, it sounds good. I've never heard of the term jazz rock before. I could be out of touch a little bit, but
Steal it, Dan.
I'm just going to, can I just call on somebody randomly? Let's go.
I guess I'd call it R&B / jazz. I don't know.
If it's R&B, it's not anywhere within the last 3 decades.
Yeah.
Taylor, what would you call that?
You know, it had like a lot of slide in it, so it had a little bit of country in with the jazz. Like, I don't know, kind of bluesy or something. I don't know what the word is for it, but it kind of melds different genres together.
It does. It's a real hodgepodge, and I can't put my finger on it. I'm going to call on someone else. Nancy, what do you think? Put a genre on this. Label this thing. That's
Maybe
your
like
answer.
maybe swing dancing.
Oh gosh, yeah. But so here's the problem, and Art, I know you can't chime in with us, but no one can label this song. And this is a fairly big problem that a lot of people run into when they approach music from the standpoint of, I just want to make cool music, as opposed to, I'm a businessman making a product that I want to get a desired result from, whether it be making music or making money or getting it onto the radio. When you're trying to market a product, you need to have clearly identifiable labels. And one of the easiest ways that we identify our music is with genre labels. And that song, as cool as it was so many different things rolled into one that made it unidentifiable as anything. Now, if you were making music art with the goal of just making fun music that other people could listen to, like Ed did earlier, then I've got nothing to offer you as far as suggestions, because you made something that was really enjoyable to listen to, even though we can't categorize it. But if your goal was anything outside of just personal pleasure, then we've got an identification problem. And that'll unfortunately just really hamper any type of opportunities that you might want with your music. Like if you're trying to get that thing played on radio, what radio station are you going to approach? Is it the country station? Is it the jazz station? Is it the blues? I mean, what?
Could it be played in like a movie scene to where the lyrics kind of apply to something relationally?
It'd be a real tough sell, and the reason is the music itself. And I don't mean to sound like I'm taking a negative tone on this music at all, because it was really quite cool, but it's from a different era. I mean, we're talking an era that's decades and decades removed from where we are now. So you would have to have a movie that's set in, gosh, I don't know, the 70s. Not to say they don't make those movies, because those movies are out there, but any movie that's happening currently, it wouldn't use something like that.
Well, you've got Mad Men, and
there's always going to be some that are like these throwback things, or something like That 70s Show. Or That 80s Show, that were these throwbacks to a different time.
right, and that's why one of the things that is important at Taxi too is sounds like, right? And you always put that in there. And for me, I would look at that and I go, well, it's Fever, except Fever is going to cost an arm and a leg to license. Let's put this in there.
There you go. Yeah,
and that would work out perfectly. That's one of the things that I've done quite a bit is sound alikes.
Yeah.
And that's worked for me for a lot of indie films and stuff that I've thrown stuff into, even though it never went anywhere. I didn't make any money, but hey, it got in there because
Yeah.
it sounded
Yep.
like what was supposed to be happening at that time. So yeah.
Yeah. When you first played it, Stephen, when you pressed play before the vocals came in, it did set this cool kind of upscale lounge vibe. Like there was the saxophone, and it could have really set a darkly lit upscale restaurant or club type of environment. And when the vocal came in, it lost all that. But maybe there's some repurposing you could do and just take the intro and expand on that to make a nice little smoky jazz cue.
Think Sinners.
Sinners, yeah, Ed, that would have been right in there. But the vocal wouldn't have worked for that. But the vibe before the vocal came in probably would have.
Okay.
Okay. And Art, sorry you couldn't pipe in on us. Hope that was helpful, though.
Okay, next up we have Joe Lindstrom, who hasn't come yet, but we'll wait for his till later. Maybe he'll show up. So next up is Gia Levey, and this song is Beyond the Veil. Gia, you want to tell us about your song?
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
I really love your personality. Just have to say that you're so bubbly.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, Matt, I wrote this in Spain with Mo Pleasure of Earth, Wind, and Fire. And we were in a room because it was a camp, songwriting camp. And he said, "What do you want to write about?" And I said, I was charged with my dad's funeral, the music for it. And I picked Ladysmith, Knocking on Heaven's Door, and everyone was looking askance at me. And I said, it was the hardest thing to find music that was upbeat about someone passing. Everything was just like not good. It's like there's this huge hole in the market. So I said, why don't we write
Mm.
a song that's positive about passing beyond, it's called Beyond the Veil. And that's what it's called. And that's why I did it. And it was really more one of like, well, maybe I could park it in the industry somewhere because there's a hole there. Or, if there was ever a television show, but I think it would be pretty unique. So,
Cool.
Okay.
That's a good business approach. You found a hole in the market.
yeah, there was nothing. Seriously, it took me the longest time to get the music, and I still didn't get it right.
Here we go.
Used to think there's never enough time. Now I've got all the time in the world. What a surprise, saying our final goodbyes. It's not as bad as you've heard. Looking down from a place high up above, I can see what's really going on. After fear has passed away, all that's left is love. When all is said and done, life's a celebration beyond the veil. Ooh, life's a celebration beyond the veil. If you take the time to lighten your load, you'll find your heaven wherever you go. Looking back on the gifts I was given, I cherish them, each and every one. No regret in a life that's been worth living. Give yourself some peace and have some fun. Life's a celebration beyond the veil. Ooh, life's a celebration.
Hey, that was really cool.
Hey, thank you.
How do you say your name?
Gia.
Gia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I really, really like that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, the musicianship back there on that music really shone
Yeah,
through.
well, it is Mo,
Yeah.
and I haven't released it yet, but I don't know what to do with it. It's just like, okay, what I said, it's
Yeah, it's a tough one. I love that you found a hole in the market because you're totally right. Every song that you would hear at the funeral, or I mean,
100%.
any they're tear jerkers, right? I mean, that's kind of the point, I think, is to make people
Yeah, there's a segment of
sad.
the market that don't want to be morose about life.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like, why don't we have a celebration in the Western culture that, and there's people that would like to see grief and that taken in a different tone.
yeah.
Anyway,
I would say that even outside of your like the situation that you had in mind, that chorus really stands on its own for many, many usages outside of upbeat funerals. And so I think you've got a lot of opportunity that you didn't even aim for that you could hit with this
okay.
song.
Yeah.
So I've already told you that I liked it, and there's what I think would be a lot of potential. I always hesitate to say that because I'm like, oh, this would have a lot of opportunities, and then watch it never get used anywhere. It, it's just the way this stuff happens. I mean, maybe you go on to make 20 placements with this thing. Maybe it never does anything for you. So I don't want to like fill you up with false hopes, but I really did like it. So I'm just going to offer you some technical advice.
Okay.
Did you sing this track?
I did.
You
Yeah,
did?
and
Okay.
I'm not a gospel singer, so I mean, yeah.
Okay. And
that.
so that's what I was going to say that. I was going to try to
Not
find
true.
a nice way to do it. This would be an instance where I think it would be worth it to find a vocalist who could really, really nail this song. Someone who lives and breathes this style of music.
Yeah.
I mean, you've done a fine job, but doing a fine job could be so much better under the hands of a master vocalist who
Right.
does that style.
Yeah, the gospel.
And you could find those people on Fiverr of all
Yeah,
places. You just, you'd have to get a work for hire thing and just say, hey, I paid you whatever, and all claims that you might have to this song are over once you cash your paycheck. Or you could find a co-writer from this group, or not a co-writer. You just need a hired gun, because the lyrics are done, the melody's done, everything's there except the delivery. And your delivery is just fine, but this thing needs to be a real fireball.
A gospel singer. Yeah. Well, you know, if the Mo's wife could have done this, I said that to him because she's in the background. It's like, you know, I've got this really amazing singer, but I think she's Welsh, but she sings like hell. Yeah. I could go back to him and ask her to do it.
I would. I mean, just find some
in the
young
family.
hotshot.
Huh?
Like find some young R&B singer.
Uh-huh.
And if you gave this to someone younger, I would tell you to let them make some modifications to the delivery. Because your delivery, your melodies, in fact, even the way that you did your rhyme schemes and your poetry or your prose or whatever it's called,
My cadence and all. Yeah.
it is coming from an older era than what the
Yeah,
kids
I
these
know
days are
that.
doing.
I know that. Yeah,
So
yeah.
if you wanted to target a younger crowd, you find some young buck who can really wail and just say, here's the words, sing it how you would sing it. And maybe you'll get something really cool. It'll be different than what you did.
Right.
Or you could go find someone from an older generation who just has a set of pipes that can blast this thing and just tell them to do exactly what you did because it's fine.
Right.
And but it's going to date it a little bit more. I don't know. I hope I'm making sense.
Yeah, it might be kind of interesting, but you said maybe younger male, huh?
Male or female, doesn't
Well, you
really
said
matter.
buck. That's not a female.
Just whoever. I'm just getting some young kids, like a 25-year-old who can just.
Well, I just
wail.
have to stop being precious about it. Thank you, Matt.
Just stop being precious. I think that's there's a moral to the story here that we can all take to heart, and that is just don't be precious to your songs, because regardless how good we think they might be, they could probably always be a little bit better if we say, you know what, maybe I wasn't the right voice for this, or maybe
I always knew that.
Yeah.
Honestly. Yeah, I did. I mean, it was just because we started it together, we finished it together.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that this came out of a writing retreat too.
Yeah, and he's a wonderful guy. But I mean, I'd still like to put it out, but I think it could be better. I mean, I know that.
Yeah. It's great though, Gia. It's a really great song.
And I have enough humility to say so.
Yeah.
Well, the Beatles put out, with a little help of my friends and Joe Cocker, they got to hire to sing it.
Happens all the time. I mean, it must be really amazing when you're upstaged by somebody else from your original song.
Oh yeah. Oh, I don't know. Here's one from the older generation. Remember Meatloaf?
Yeah.
Yeah, Meatloaf. So his songwriter was Jim Steinman, who played the piano, and he was writing these songs for himself. And he's like, I can't really sing them that good. And Meatloaf was the guy who carried Jim Steinman to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So you just always know that there's someone out there who can take your idea and just go sky high with it.
Okay,
Okay.
thanks for your feedback.
You're welcome. Good
Next
job,
up.
Gia.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Catherine Beck. And Catherine, take it away.
Oh, there you are, Catherine. Okay, I found you.
Hi. Do you want me to say something about the song or
Yes.
what?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I wrote the song about a week after the Eaton Canyon fires, and I live about 2.5 miles south of them, and I have a bunch of friends that lost their homes there. And yes, I would love to have a place with somebody like, but what my first thought was, have a place with an insurance company, especially the last verse when, it's all hopeful and they're gonna really help you get out of your big problem with your house burned down. And, maybe sink it into a movie. Actually, my publisher had me write change a couple different lines so it could change to a period piece, like a Western or something. But, I'd like to get it placed. I mean, yeah, sure, I would love it for me to sing it, but, I'm a nobody, and I'm
Yeah.
really
Let's
old.
just get it on TV and get you some money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
okay.
Let's listen.
When the smoke clears, it's so quiet outside, the birds stop singing. They flew off to hide when the smoke clears and the damage is done. I hold my love in my arms, my dog's playing in the car. Don't know where we're going, but at least we're safe. And I pray all my friends get out of this place. First you cry, then you cry some more, then you pick up your heart and the pieces off the floor. When the smoke clears, I walk through the ruins where my house once stood. All the memories of love and good. Picked up a piece of paper lying on the ground. A note from an old friend said he'd soon be around. When the smoke clears, we're gonna rebuild, build it better with our love and God's will. When the smoke clears, I have so...
Nice job, Catherine. So, one thing I always tell my group that I mentor here, and anyone that I have a chance to preach about music strategy to, is that songwriters often underestimate the importance of the first 4 seconds of a song. And I claim that deals are made and lost within 4 seconds of an editor pressing the play button, because decisions are made so fast. Now, with a song that you're looking for, like commercial placements and probably movies and stuff, they're going to spend a little bit more time than 4 seconds to find just the right thing, because they're going to spend a lot of money on it. But in reality TV shows, decisions are made so fast that if a song is not instantly captivating, they're moving on to the next piece. So this is a little test for everybody. And the reason I mentioned that, Catherine, is because yours was incredibly captivating from the first 1 second. I don't know if you guys felt the same way, but Stephen, I don't know if you can just play the first 3, 4, 5 seconds of this song again.
Here we go. Oh, I have to share the screen.
You got to do that again. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
stop there. Yeah, so who's not sticking around just to see what happens? Like, I mean, that's captivating. It has a little bit of Kill Bill, like that's Quentin Tarantino right there. Oh, by the way, I just watched the whole Kill Bill thing, 4.5 hours in a movie theater. It was awesome. It was full of that kind of sound, Catherine. So maybe Quentin Tarantino would be all over this thing if he wasn't only making one more movie ever. Anyways, for this, there are two things that I want to mention to you. The first one is that you have a line that's repeated throughout the song, which is a very good line that would have, I think, a lot of potential to be used in many different opportunities. And that is when the smoke clears. And the smoke could be literal, like actual smoke from a fire. It could be the smoke from a battlefield, like, artillery fire. It could be the smoke from a car crash and maybe a car lit on fire. Or it could just be the emotional smoke, metaphorical smoke from a relationship that's just gone up in flames. So there's so many uses for that line. And I love that you have it in there so many times. I think that's really going to give you a lot of potential. Now, I'm going to speak out of both sides of my mouth here because there are also many lines in your song that are so hyper specific that will pretty much disqualify this song from being able to be added to a video, whether it's a commercial or a movie or anything, because when you've got specific lines like, I've got 2 dogs in the car, I mean, if that song is playing and there is no car, or there is a car, but it's got a cat in it, or a kid, but there's no dogs to be found, it's like we've got this huge disconnect. Mm-hmm. So I would challenge you to go through, if your goal is really to get sync placements with this thing, then you need to get rid of almost all of those hyper-specific images that you've got. Holding hands, the dogs in the car. I can't remember what some of the others were. But you'd have like 3 or 4 great lines that were kind of vague and could have many different possibilities. Mm-hmm. And then you go into this ultra specific thing, which just kind of just takes it all and kills the opportunity. Okay. So I would just hit that with a rewrite, Catherine, but I think you've got something that has, I would think, a lot of potential to it.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, next up we have Larambe. This is called Brand New Ones. Larambe? Let's see. Is he here? Let's see.
Hello.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
Hello.
How you
what
doing?
Are you drinking, Catherine? What's on the drink menu tonight? I didn't hear you.
Anyway, Larambe, yeah,
water.
Tell us about the song.
Oh, that's water.
Yeah.
Okay, Larambe, you there?
Yes, I'm here. How you
Okay,
doing?
tell us what your goal was with the music we are about to hear.
Well, I'm an artist, so this is a song that will be placed on streaming platforms and what have you. And hopefully, if you get some sync licensing, that would be great. But mainly, it's just the artist expression.
Mainly for you. Okay, cool.
Well, it's for the public, but
Well, yeah. I got you.
Wouldn't it be something if life had an undo button? Can we start over? Can we rewind? Can we build a machine to take us back in time? What if we could undo the damage that's been done? Will we make the same mistakes or make brand new ones? Make brand new brand new ones. Can we start over? Can we rewind? Can we build a machine that can take us back in time? What would we do over to change the outcome? Ooh, would we use the same excuses or make brand new ones? Make brand new ones. Yeah. Brand new ones. We wish we could've, should've, would've done this, done that. Wish we could go back and change some of the facts. Regret is all that's left when we make a bad choice. When we fail to listen to our inner voice.
Nice job, Larambe. So
Thank
that so oh, sorry, man. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So that was really cool. Had a nice vibe to it. I'm going to ask you a question that I asked. I can't even remember who I asked this to. I think I asked this to Ed earlier. Or no, did I ask this to Art? I think. What genre would you call that music?
What genre will I call it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's R&B based, but it's it kind of be cross genre, I think. I don't know specifically where I would put it.
Yeah. Okay. So, and this is would be the problem, Larambe, is as I was telling, I don't know if you were here earlier when
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So I said the same thing is, how do you classify this? I think the closest I would come would probably be to put it in the R&B bucket.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably a pretty apt description, but there were some things that just made it not R&B that
Exactly.
you may want to rethink, so that when you tell someone that you've got an R&B song, they hear it and they're like, yeah, of course, rather than saying, well, that's like R&B, but it's something else and mixed with something else. So it's got just a little bit of personality disorder in it, but I think you could fix it fairly easily. And one of the things I would ask you to do is, well, I got two suggestions to make the song stronger. And this is with the disclaimer that I really did like this, and it set a really cool atmospheric vibe. But the snare drum just really took me out of this one. And good snare drums are a dime a dozen now. Like you could go spend $10 on some sample pack somewhere of like R&B 2026 snare drum packs, and you could get all sorts of really hip snare drums that sound like what's happening in R&B today, but it wouldn't be that snare. And so that's just going to take, if you were to shop this to a sync agent or a music library, they're probably going to ask you to do the same thing just to make it a stronger R&B track. And watch me eat my words on this. Like you could go get some library's going to be like, yeah, it's perfect. I love the snare. So that, this is always just one guy's opinion here. The other suggestion I would give you is take it easy and probably take out all of those vocal effects that you had going in and out of there. It's one thing to have vocal effects if they're kind of always present. It's usually better not to have them at all. But I think the worst thing you can do is go from natural voice to affected voice to natural to affected and kind of have this disconnect. Like, what are we going to get? Are we getting natural Larambe, or are we getting, old megaphone speaker effect Larambe? I think you just need to strip that effect out of there and your song will be much stronger.
Well, I appreciate that, but this particular version is kind of done.
It's okay.
Okay.
So there's no going back.
No, and I don't want to go back. It's the way I want it to be. So I
Okay.
appreciate.
Yep. So no, and this takes me to what I mentioned to Ed at the very top of this session was if you are just looking to make music for your own pleasure and that you want other people to enjoy listening to, then take anybody's feedback with a grain of salt because you made the music you wanted to, and that was the goal. And so if this is exactly the way you want the song to sound, then congratulations, you did what you set out to do. If you're looking beyond just the enjoyment of making the music and being able to have other people listening to it, if you're looking into the sync music world where you could make some money, then you may want to consider my suggestions. But if that's a side note, then just make the music you want to make.
Well, I think it has possibilities. The way that it is, and like I say, it's done. So I mean, it's not like I'm going to go back and change anything.
Do you not have the ability to, or is it like at a studio that you don't have access to, or is it that you just mentally don't want to go back to it?
No, I don't want to go back to it because
Well,
I feel that it will be where it's supposed to be, and it will be enjoyed by who it's supposed to be enjoyed by, and that it could be used in film and TV without just the way that it is. If not, then so be it.
All right, man.
The world will let you know. Yes.
Good luck to you. Yeah. Keep us posted.
Okay. Next up, we have Nancy Lynn. Nancy, I want to talk about your song. This is called Unrequited Love.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Nancy.
Well, so this song is actually just a live recording. It's not produced.
Okay.
I haven't got around to producing songs. I've just been writing them right now. And because I find if you produce it and then you get feedback, then you're like, oh, I already spent the money. And it's better to get feedback before producing it sometimes.
It is so much better to get feedback at this stage.
Yes. And so
good.
So I write healing worship music. And so I also perform it live for kind of spreading the gospel, on street corners, parks, in open mics and stuff like that. So it's kind of a gospel type, evangelistic type tool.
Okay.
All right.
I wait outside your heart each day. You walk right by, you look away. I call your name, you never hear. You chase the world, I'm standing here. It breaks my heart to see you go to empty arms that hurt you so. This is unrequited love. I love you more than you can know, but you don't love me back. I gave my life upon the cross. You turn and walk the other way. This is unrequited love, and it hurts me every day. 'Cause you don't love me back. I paint the sky to catch your eye. I hold you close when you're alone. I knock so soft upon your door. You fill your life with something more. I long to heal your deepest pain, but you keep running from my name. This is unrequited.
Nice job, Nancy.
Oh, like it was kind of a little rough, but
That's all right. No, yeah, so it's always best, I think, to get feedback when songs are at this stage because you haven't committed to anything. Like, I mean,
yeah,
this is a piece of clay that you formed into a shape, but you know it's still on the pottery wheel. So
yes,
you can shape this thing in any number of directions from here, and you're not just stuck with whatever final result you've done.
yes.
That's the way I used to make music back in my early days. I never got feedback on anything, and I'd go to studios and pay out the nose to make music. And I thought it was great. And then I'd get feedback, like oftentimes by submitting to Taxi, and they would say, well, change this, change this, change this, change this. And then you might have a contender on your hands. And I'd be like, well, I can't change any of it because it was at a studio. How am I supposed to? I can't even get this musician back there to punch in vocals because they moved off to Florida or, you know, where. So there's all sorts of challenges that will be in your way if you look for feedback after a final product is made.
Yeah, and that gets expensive.
And it does get expensive. Yeah, it's better to workshop stuff when the cost is free.
And I also like, I noticed, like, I don't know if you've heard of Up Family. It's like Family and Faith. It's a television where they have a whole bunch of different faith shows on it. And so, like, I had thought, like, when they're produced, possibly like pitching it to like Christian movies and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's a pretty big market nowadays. Like there's a whole crew that, gosh, they did that one movie about child trafficking like 3 years ago.
Oh,
You guys
that was,
remember that one? I don't know.
yeah, that was brutal, that movie.
Yeah, I can't even remember what the name of it was. But then they made another movie, and they've kind of built this little faith-based movie studio.
Angel Studios, is it
Angel Studios. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
So, you know, I know there's a huge market for faith music. It's not a market that I'm familiar with at all because I just it's not circles that I run in. So I can't actually give you any help other than tell you that there's an abundance of opportunity out there for this kind of thing. Now, I will give you something else to consider though. If you were to take out the line about, oh gosh, I can't remember what it was, God's love or died on the cross or there was something about.
Yeah, the cross.
Okay, so if you take that line out, then this doesn't have to be a faith-based song. And that could open it up to even more potential of just people going through heartbreak because they love the boy down the street who's never paid attention to him. Or, you know, like the freshman in high school who's got a crush who just never seems to notice him or her. And it doesn't have to be a religious thing.
So like a couple of different versions.
Yeah, I mean, you could do a couple different versions. The tough part with that is once you sign or sell one version of this song, then the other one's pretty much toast too.
Oh, okay.
Because it's just a variation of the one song that you already wrote with a few
okay.
minor changes. So, and you know, if you were to ever sign this to like a music catalog, they would ask you for the instrumental track without the vocals. And so, I mean, if you have one version that's got religious lyrics here and you deliver the vocal version and the instrumental, and then you have an alternate version here, it's the same exact instrumental, but with different words. Yeah, it doesn't work because now you got two companies after the same instrumental piece.
Oh, so sometimes they want it without the vocals.
Always without the vocals.
Oh, really?
Or in addition to.
Oh.
Yeah, because
they want you to send both.
They'll always ask you to send both.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, because what'll happen is in a TV show, there might be a scene where nobody is talking and they want one line of your song to really soar above the production and really drive the story along. But then the characters come back on screen and they have this heart-to-heart intimate conversation. They've got to fade out to the instrumental version so the characters can talk on top of the music without the vocal stepping on top of them.
Oh.
So they'll just constantly interweave these two things, fade in and out from the vocal to the instrumental.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Hey, there you go. The more you know. So I don't know what I would tell you, Nancy, other than either way, you've got potential, but I think you have to pick a path. And I know nothing about the faith-based musical path other than there's a lot of it out there. And it
Some way,
seems like
somehow, some
it-
connection out
yeah,
there where.
yeah, I would just say go that route for a while and see what happens. And if nothing happens with it, then revisit the lyrics, cut another version, and put this one on the shelf. Like pretend it doesn't exist and shop around the other version and see if you get some traction.
All right, sounds good.
That's probably what I would do if I were in your position.
Oh, okay, sounds
Yeah.
good. Why
There you
not?
go. Jimmy and Steven, would you guys mind if I step away for just a minute? I got my daughter. She's 10 years old. She's down in her bed right now. I just got to make sure she's all out of the shower, in bed, and everything else. Can I like take a 3 to
10
5
minutes,
minute?
Yeah, of
Right.
course.
Go right ahead.
Okay.
And we'll jawbone a bit, and then just when you're ready, we'll.
We'll just see you coming
more
back. Yeah.
songs.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll shut off the video here and I'll be back soon.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Commercial.
yeah. Well, also, meanwhile, Nancy may know that I was doing Christian music for a long time, and I do have a Christian label and a bunch of other stuff too. But that's one of the other things too. When you have praise and worship music, that stuff can easily be put into like different songbooks and stuff, depending on how you want to do that. And then all of a sudden you're published, and your music is all over the world, and that's ministry in itself. I've got about 35 or so songs that have been published by the Gems Music Ministry that I was with, and they're out there in the world. There's a couple of them that are in lyric-only songbooks. There's a couple of them that are on a couple of compilation CDs of worship music. So those are the kinds of things where you are able to get placement fairly easily if you know where to look and who's doing it. Of course, there's always the big ones, like Benson, Maranatha, Sparrow, but there's a lot of other small labels that will pick up your stuff and really do well for you, if you're willing to look for those kinds of things and make that happen.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't know. So, like, would you submit just kind of like a chord chart and lyrics kind of thing for a book like that?
actually, again, it's a matter of making those relationships happen. The way that I got a lot of those songs published is I would sing them in church. I would go to a different church, be a guest singer, vocalist, like you came to our church, same thing. And when you do that, then people know who you are. They know that you write the songs. And when they become familiar enough with the songs that they sing along to it, then they go, well, maybe we should have that published, or maybe we could put that into our songbook. And then if it goes into that songbook, then of course that songbook may be passed along to somebody else, and it just keeps growing and growing. One of the songs that I wrote a long time ago is funny because, not really funny, but unfortunate. I was doing sound at an event, and then all of a sudden I hear my song coming out of one of the bands that's on the stage. I'm going, hey, where'd they hear about my song? And these guys from Ohio. And I'm going, well, how in the heck did they get it in Ohio? So I opened up the thing and I looked to see, the credits and all that. And of course the song was credited to Anonymous. Oh, well. But then I talked to the leader of that band and I said, hey, I wrote that song. And he goes, oh, that's great. We had one of our other people in the band went to UCLA, and it was a regular song that was used in their Bible study.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they kept singing it, and they didn't know who wrote it, because the ministry was part of what I was doing. That song was there, and it was one of their favorite songs to sing at that Bible study.
Wow.
And so these kids learned it, and their band was singing it, but they had no idea that I wrote it.
That's
So
pretty cool.
yeah, and so here my music is being shared in Ohio, and I didn't even know it. Another time, another one of my friends wrote some songs in Japanese, and he shared them at our church, and that was nice. But then what happened was, one of the missionaries came through, heard him singing in Japanese, said, "Oh, I like that song. Do you have a recording?" He says, "Well, not really." He said, "Well, why not?" He says, "Because I can't afford it." So that missionary took him into the studio and helped him cut a record.
Oh,
And
wow.
so he published a CD. The CD got out there, and lo and behold, it's become a staple in some of the Japanese Christian churches out there. So
Wow.
those are the kinds of things that you can do, but you just have to look for them. And again, it's all about that relationship thing, being face to face with people who might be able to help and make that happen. And that's pretty much true for everything now, because at this point in the game, you really don't know who's who and who's doing what. That was it Velvet Sunrise or Velvet Sunset, whatever they are, right? If you ever check them out, it's pretty crazy. Those guys are at the top of the charts, but they don't exist.
Oh, is that the AI band?
That's that AI band, yeah. And there's several. There are several bands like that now that are at the top of the charts, but they don't actually exist. In a way, it kind of started with Metalocalypse. It was a great cartoon show, but again, the band was called Death Clock, and they don't exist.
Wow.
Yeah. But they were at the top of their
Pretty
charts.
soon you'll have a tribute band to the AI bands.
Good point.
That's funny.
In England, I do a lot of songwriting with people in England, and they're so against AI. They're really, really pushing back, more so than here in the United States. Because I've already seen, people coming through my inbox, saying we're looking for, music. They just want the raw songs so that they could feed it, I guess, into AI and produce them.
Oh yeah, and some of that stuff sounds amazing. Some of you
it
know my friend Rocky. Rocky's been at our showcase open mics all the time, and if you've heard him, you know that he sings like William Shatner. It's more speaking than singing. But another one of our friends stuck one of his songs into Suno, and it came back sounding like music. It was amazing. Suno even corrected some of the rhyme schemes and stuff. So it was pretty scary, and it was his voice on top of all that.
Wow.
So the possibilities are there. One of the things about Suno that is interesting is that it puts it together as one file. So if you try to separate it, like I like this arrangement, but I don't like the sax player in there, you can't pull it out. Because if you pull it out, then all of a sudden everything goes 8-bit and it sounds like crap.
It's only a matter of time and iteration. But to the point of networking, is anyone going to Durango in a couple of weeks? To Ventura, Durango?
What's that?
Durango Songwriters. It's a great opportunity to connect with a lot of songwriters and stuff. It's like a song camp kind of a thing.
Not just songwriters. Actually you get to present to a panel. I've got 3 panels, and on the panels are typically publishers, A&R, and music supervisors.
Right.
And you get 2 days, and if you buy the ticket, you get to present to 3 panels, and then they've got other sundry things, for the couple of nights. But it's a small group. It's maybe 350. And of those, I would say perhaps 50 or maybe more, 50, 80 are people that are in industry people. And you get to kind of like Taxi, but smaller, and that you actually get to present to people.
So usually when you present, they want something finished, right?
Yeah.
I would say yes. Yeah, the bar is quite high.
Yeah. And
Jimmy.
sync agencies. I will say though, it tended to lean I thought it leaned a little bit toward hip hop and sort of not as much my music, I thought, but I'll see what happens this year.
Well,
Okay.
hip hop is mainstream.
That's true.
Yeah, if
That's
it's
true.
sync and all of that, obviously, it's going to be what's selling right now. So it is what it is. But
Well,
this
Matt is
industry,
Matt is
Jimmy-
back. So
Jimmy, what were you saying about the Suno file? You can't separate?
Yeah, when you take a Suno file and you take anything out of it or add something to it, it crashes it because it's all one piece. So it's
Not if you transfer it to your DAW.
yeah, even if you transfer it to DAW, because if you look at it, you'll see that it's all one waveform. If you take it apart, like in Melodyne, for example, you would think that Melodyne would separate it out, and Melodyne can separate it out, but then you'll suddenly find that each separated track is 8-bit or less, and it sounds really bad.
Suno, you can separate it within Suno. Suno has the stems, breaks the stems down.
Stems, that's right. It has stems, not tracks. Stems. Very different.
And they sound terrible.
Yeah.
to your point. So what happens is, like, I've messed around with it a little bit. But by the way, I'm very late. I'm sorry. And I've listened to the stems, and what happens is Suna's been trained on MP3s. They've been trained on YouTube videos, so there's compression baked in. And so when you're listening to the vocals, if you listen to anything isolated, you will know immediately that it's computer generated and it sounds very bad. When you listen to it as a full file, it's not as terrible. What I think Suno can be used for would be maybe some production ideas, but I certainly wouldn't I wouldn't turn in a Suno song. I think they're not very good. And I'll be quiet now.
Yeah, because
Okay,
I don't
well,
think a whole lot of people are going to agree with you on that.
Yeah, let's get back to listening. Next up we have Louis Penn, and then Joe will play your song after that, and then Tom Bichelle, and then Michael and myself. So, Louis, why don't you tell us about your song?
Louis? Yeah.
Louis, are you there? You have to unmute yourself.
Louis, are you there? I don't know if she knows what's going on.
Yeah, let me see if I can unmute her. I can ask for unmute, but Louis, if you have to unmute yourself on the bottom left corner of Zoom there, so you can talk about your song.
Okay.
There you go. There you go.
I mute myself. Okay. Okay, I don't need a video, anything with that for myself. It's okay. Okay. Just, okay. I introduced myself a little bit for music. I was a professional singer, and then actress. I was 12 years old, start to win the TV awards for Idol China singer. And then I'm a professional recorded singer since performance a long time, and win a lot of awards. Win Casio TV awards, win a lot of actress awards, Shanghai movie actress and singer. I do long time this area, and I go through 16 years. 16 years goes through the recording. Recording label, three record label. One is later sold to EMI. First one, second one sold to the work with Universal. The third one work with just rock, Taiwan top rock kind of record label founder is my manager, as which is second one is Zhang Yadong. Zhang Yadong is a Fei Wang producer, top one producer, top king producer, something that he's a producer king is my manager also. Also he is he's invest my album for the second album, whatever it is, English album.
And you said you're looking for a manager in the U.S., right?
Yeah, I'm looking for manager. Yes, basically I look for music manager. Label I go through 3 already. 16 years I go through 3. So I'm songwriter. I'm a singer. I'm actress. I'm also story writer. Novel writer, and that's who I am. I'm also can make a video. I can do creative. The basic I'm very creative. I do the media before, which I was BBC chief is my teacher. I know how to promotion. I know how to get people attention.
Sorry to interrupt. How do you say your name?
Louis.
Louis.
You can call me Louis 16 Peter Pan.
Okay. So
Okay,
with this music in particular that we're about to listen to, what was the goal that you had with it?
The goal is actually I have 2 different music. I was electronic music win Golden Awards as a US Grammy. I win Grammy Awards in China. I'm a Grammy winner artist in China, whenever it is. But yeah, I have more people interesting about me, want to write song for me. Even symphony team want to write song for me. Right now, I have a producer very famous, which is a Sopra producer. He's my own producer. He writing 20 song for me. I writing also more than 10 and 20 song already also.
Okay.
So put together, I have a lot of song.
But this song in particular, the one that we're about to hear, what was the goal with it?
It's a love song. I sing electronic independent music, basic, but also I love to sing a lot of love song. I love sweet song. Anyway, I make a sweet song, track, and I want to sing some pure heart, sweet song, a spiritual way. Go to spiritual way. No more country line. No more this Chinese, this country, that country. I'm tired of it for country line. I want the music become be really spiritual way to a sweet and then the pure, warm people heart way to go, spiritual way to go. No matter independent, not independent music or pop music. So I
Okay.
do both. I do
That's
independent music.
Sounds good.
I
So let's
yeah.
listen.
Just listen.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have a lyric sheet for this one.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Individualism is not selfish desire, not a lonely hunger, not a grasping fire. It's the shaping of the soul in truth and light, learning who you are in heaven's sight, not taking more, not turning away, but standing upright, come what may. A conscience formed, a heart made strong, listening for where we truly belong. Individualism is the work of the soul, a sacred journey toward becoming whole, mind and spirit, patiently refined, growing toward God's law, written in time. Not me above all, but me made true, walking the path heaven true. It's the discipline.
Louis, is that you singing?
That's my voice, yes. My voice is soft. I'm not a big voice like Aretha Franklin. I'm not. I just soft voice. I just do the thing soft. Fit me. I like to do
Your
soft
voice
voice.
is amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Technique. My father was an actor and also technique 60 years research for vocal, how to sing in perfect sound. Like Ciso, like Celine Dion, like Laura Fabian, like anyone, you can do the soft one, very soft little voice, below the vocal cords, that's I
Yeah.
learned a
Well,
lot from that. Mhm.
you sound amazing. What is just mind blowing to me is there's not a single trace of your accent in
Uh,
your singing.
Thank you. I just don't know my lyrics are good or bad.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't know. Not
you
make
got
sense.
great
Maybe
American
lyrics.
English diction. Yeah.
That's my spiritual word. I just spiritual my spiritual word. I don't know anyone accept or not. For me, that's the pure heaven word for me in my heart, in my soul. I love something sweet, warm, people, pure soul. That's I love such things, and I want to do it. I don't know it's have a country line or not. Always think the music is spiritual from God. Gali gali, song from God beginning. Why not? It's come back pure. No
Hey,
country,
so
no
I would
national.
say, and this is why I was asking you what your goal was with this song.
Mm.
If this is something you just want to do for yourself, then I mean it sounds phenomenal and your voice really carries the song.
Yeah.
If you're looking for, um, you say you do like artists or you write songs for artists, is that a thing you do?
I have a very famous company want me be writing song for their artists, which they are their top one, all famous. I'm a famous in China, but the Taiwanese they want to me write song like Love Slave. I will send they want me send it to them, which they want to buy it. I don't want to send it to them. It's okay Chinese, they can sing Chinese, but English I have to let myself to sing. I tell them say okay no problem, you can sing Chinese, but I sing English anyway. I tell them.
Okay.
No,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't.
I really don't think I've got anything constructive really to offer you, other
Uh,
than you have a tremendous voice and
I
just keep singing.
I don't know U.S. kind of style like China not. My CD published by Universal, which in China, but not here. But I don't know Universal here. I call BMG. I remember 15 years old. I meet the BMG chief. Oh, he said you have a good voice. Keep going, keep going, keep going. I just say, oh, what's going on? But he said you have a good voice. But he just retired that day, when I'm 15 years old. So I think, it is, after that, yes, I signed a record label. I don't know U.S. business how to do it for entertainment. I completely have no idea. When I called BMG, this time they say you need a manager. I said I was 16 years, signed 3 record label. My manager time gone because they all good manager. They all in China. My contract already done. I need a new contract. I need a new people with me, to work with me. So I ask her, Stefan, as possible, I can find someone can work with me, and then to support another level of music, in America or in Europe here,
Okay,
I
no, that's
think,
good. Well,
yeah.
I've suggested some potential managers for you, and well,
Mm.
you'll have to check out some of the people we've had as speakers to be managers too. But any suggestions, I'm sure people can give you in the chat there.
Mm.
Yeah. Hey, let me just interrupt really quick,
Sure.
Stephen.
Yeah.
Taylor, you'd sent me a little chat message, and so I'm going to answer this. She asked, "Do you offer coaching classes, etc.?" And
Me? Oh, me?
no,
Oh.
Taylor sent me this
Oh.
message,
Oh,
and I
oh,
thought
oh,
this would be a good time to mention to you guys that I don't do any of that, but I do have a YouTube channel where I give away all the tricks of my trade on YouTube videos, and it's free, but if you want to subscribe, you can get all the latest videos and drive me some YouTube revenue. So far, I've made about $200 off of YouTube. It's a labor of love.
I hear you.
But
yeah.
it's called, if anyone's interested, it's called Matt's Music Minute.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's easy to find. If you just type Matt's Music Minute into YouTube, it'll pop up. So so there you go. Otherwise, no, I don't do any individual coaching or anything.
All right. So next up, we have Joe Lindstrom. And Joe, do you want to talk about your song then? This is called That's My Case.
Yeah. So I wrote this for a very specific brief where they were asking for a latter-day Motown sound, Stevie Wonder. So there's a clavinet in that. Production, I added Hollywood brass, sound paint disco strings are in there. But I love to create vintage music, so I kind of specialize in that. I hired a fella named Darren Day from New York to do the vocals, which were the night and day difference between what I sent him that I did and what he did is just it's incredible. But yeah. Oh, and I just want to say that Matt, I do follow you on YouTube. I love your channel.
Oh, nice.
And I think you're great.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
100%. I learned a lot from your channel.
Hey, that's great. Thank you, Joe.
All right, here we go.
Plans to slow down, no looking back. Until my eyes met yours and one look stopped me dead in my tracks. the floor.
Bravo, Joe. I mean, we could have let that go and it would have still been awesome. I'm sure. I mean, that's firing on all cylinders, dude. I don't even know what to tell you. That's awesome. Actually, I do know one thing to tell you. If I could be extremely nitpicky.
Do it.
And I don't know how much of a difference this is really going to make, but it may be worth it. I don't know. So I'm a trumpet player by trade. Like that's how I went through college, was on a trumpet scholarship. So I'm very familiar with brass sections and the brass sound. And I know you mentioned that you used like whatever Hollywood horns or whatever.
Hollywood brass.
Yeah. And you know, as a real trumpet player, you can just spot the fake stuff a mile away.
Oh,
and
no.
it's, you know, Joe, you did a good job on it. It's going to fool a lot of people. It doesn't sound that fake unless you know.
It's funny you mentioned that because the whole time I'm working on this thing, I'm like, oh, does this work? Are people gonna know? Because I know.
Not unless someone's a brass player or spent time around horns. Otherwise, it's going to fool most people. So that's why I say this may not be worth the effort. But if you really want to make this thing sound authentic, get yourself a trumpet player and a trombone and a sax and have them do those lines.
Yeah, okay, that's good advice. There's a I'm gonna give a little plug to Air Gigs. I'm not associated with them, but I get a lot of vocalists from there. You can get an actual small brass section from Air Gigs as well, and I might do that. I might do that.
I don't know how much it costs to tell you whether or not it'd be worth the money, because I think this song is going to do things without the real brass section. But if you want to get into some really prestigious libraries with this and not just kind of the ones that are like, oh, they're pretty good libraries, but I mean, it's not extreme music or killer tracks or something, then yeah, you might want to put a few dollars in. Yeah, and really all you need is like one real trumpet and one real sax. And then you leave that Hollywood brass stuff in there and just have it really mix low and put the real horns louder. And then you'll still have a nice thick section. And you might not have to pay that much money for one trumpet and one sax.
That's solid advice. I think that's really good advice, actually.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's all I could tell you, dude. But other than that, I love that stuff.
Oh man, thank you. Awesome.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Thanks for watching my YouTube channel.
Cool. Next up, we have Tom Bichelle. This is called Don't Say. Tom, any comments?
How are you?
What's
Hi,
up,
guys.
Tom? Nice hat.
Thank you, friend. Hey, I met you at the Road Rally recently.
Okay, you look
Matt,
familiar to me.
Very
Yeah.
briefly. Yes. Thanks for your time and your patience, and shout out to Stephen and Jimmy for running this thing for so many years. And they're just such amazing guys and supporting the indie songwriting community. So thanks, Jimmy and Stephen.
Yeah.
So a few years ago, I took a co-writing class at the LA Songwriting School in Burbank, and they brought in some industry professionals toward the end of the class, and that I had the opportunity to co-write this song with Alan Rich, who his main claim to fame is he co-wrote "Run to You" by Whitney Houston, got Oscar nomination. So I guess I'm Oscar nomination adjacent.
Yeah, there you
go. So this song is pretty much completed. I have already released it, and it was written as a duet. I released it as a male. I'm singing it. I do still want to record it as a duet. I've not found the right female vocalist for it yet, but yeah, just interested in feedback. It's adult contemporary, and looking for placements in film, TV, and libraries, and
so you're looking for that sync route.
Yeah.
Okay.
And possibly if another artist wants to record it, kind of as as I get older, my goals and ambitions change, and I'd like to have people younger and prettier than me record my songs. So.
Okay, but sync is the primary goal.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Here we go.
You've got a diamond on your hand, and I wear a wedding band. Neither one of us is free. Everything we used to be is history. So please don't say it. Don't say the words that I so long to hear. Please don't say it. Those words were meant for someone else's ears. Don't look at me with those eyes. That same look that used to mesmerize me. I always loved your lips, and it's making me want to kiss you. But we can't do this, please. Don't say it, don't say the words that I so long to hear. Please don't say it, those words were meant for someone else's ears. Please don't say the way that we've been feeling all these years. 'Cause if you say
Nice job, Tom.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So, you know what, dude? I should. So, question for Jimmy is James Koshin going to be on the menu for you at any point in the future?
Probably our April guest.
Okay. So, Tom, you may want to run this song past James because he's a guy that could really chop this thing up and give you some great feedback on the lyrics. But I'm going to give you lyrics aren't really my thing, but I'm going to give you something that I think is worth considering. There's an old phrase. This comes about from novel writing, and it is equally applicable to writing song lyrics. But the phrase is show, don't tell. And you've done a very good job telling us exactly what's happening and exactly what people are thinking without giving us any of the emotion that they're really feeling. You're just kind of narrating a scene. And we just see a couple of people stepping out on each other, but we don't know what's really going on emotionally that brought them to that place or what they're really feeling. And so the chorus might be okay, but the verses are really heavy-handed in their storytelling.
Okay.
And I can't remember what those words were off the top of my head. But if you were to think more about the emotional weight of what these people are doing and why they are doing it and who it's going to hurt or not hurt, I mean, maybe we don't know anything about these people other than one's got a wedding ring and the other's got a diamond. I can't remember the exact words, but that's about all we know. So you've given us these general descriptions, which are really kind of heavy-handed showing instead of telling. Or, I mean, telling instead of showing, whatever.
Interesting.
So
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, I may challenge you just to dig into the emotional weight of this song because you got a concept, and the concept you've got is deep. And there's a lot of emotional weight that could be put in there that's just not there.
Right,
But this
right.
is where a guy like, dude, if you ran this by James Koshin and if you shop this with him, he'd have you writing 17 different versions of it, and each would be better than the previous one. And by the
Mhm.
end, we would have all listened to a song that would make every single person in this room cry.
Right.
But
I
as
did
it is
actually
right
have.
now, nobody's crying because we just like, we're just seeing a couple people cheating on each other and they know they
Yeah,
shouldn't.
yeah. This it's essentially about these high school sweethearts who ended up marrying other people, and they kind of
Okay.
rekindle their love at the high school reunion, and
Okay.
they're tempted to,
Yeah.
you know.
So, and again, dude, you just got to take this song back to James. So maybe revisit this one in April.
Yeah.
But I would worry less about this actual story, about who these people are and where they met each other, and if they were high school sweethearts or college or whatever, or how many kids they've got at home. Like, leave those details on the cutting room floor and just get right to the heart of the matter. What is it about their current relationship that is not good enough or is hurting them so badly that now they are risking it all to step
Mm,
out with somebody else?
right, right. All right.
I mean,
Very
that's some
good
deep
points.
stuff right there. But this song, like, we need to all be crying at the end of this song. And right now, your
Yeah.
characters are the villains.
Yeah. Well, you didn't get to the bridge yet, so but
Oh, sorry,
anyway.
yeah, I cut you off too soon.
No,
That was their
no, it's
redeeming
a
point.
maybe not. I don't know.
uh,
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting. You mentioned Taxi. I pitched a lot of things, submitted to Taxi, and gotten so much feedback, and I've submitted the same song, not this one, but the same song to many different listings, and I get different feedback from different screeners,
yeah.
and it was very confusing. Someone will say the chorus is amazing, the verse needs work, and then vice versa. And it's like it's hard to the get a real clear, opinion
Yeah.
on things.
Yeah.
But I
But
appreciate yours,
yeah. Yeah. I
and
mean,
it makes sense.
if you don't change anything, that's fine too. But it's just another framework to see the potential for, like, your thematic concepts here. And
Yeah,
maybe to get there, you rewrite the entire thing, every single word, and the music too. I don't know, but I like, maybe this is a springboard for a different idea. And so
yeah.
if all this song was the gateway to something better, then it served its purpose.
Right, right. Of
Yeah.
course, a lot of people don't even listen to the lyrics these days, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm usually guilty of that.
They just want the hook.
Okay. All right.
And actually, kind of speaking to that real quick, um, the arrangement that you put in there is very Beatlesque, I thought.
Oh yeah,
True.
well, yeah.
You
Got
got
my
like that.
influences on my sleeve.
Yeah, I see the influences on the wall, but also you had that flute thing going on there. Was that something that you put in there, or is that your arrangement?
Um, at the very beginning,
Yeah, it was like
it's a singing bowl.
it was a singing bowl. It sounded like a flute. It
It,
was kind of cool.
a friend of mine I was just at a dinner party, and she played the singing bowl. I go, I want to record that for something, and it turned out to be the right note for this song. It's an E flat, so I give my
Yeah,
friend credit for singing bowl. So
yeah, that's very cool. All right.
Okay. Next up, we have Michael Morehouse.
thank you.
Right.
You're welcome.
So next up, we have Michael Morehouse. This is called Your Steps. And Michael, you have comments?
Yes, this is, I'm speaking through an echo in here, so bear with me, please. Anyways, it's an instrumental. I would say that it's really directed toward like boxing or monster truck scenes, or just yeah, car races, like just real heavy. I wrote it for Christian project. I do Christian music, and we use it for evangelism. And the style, it reflects that heavy sound. And also, so it has basically, it's set up for vocals. So it's got, just your intro, verse, chorus twice, and then it goes into a kind of a instrumental toward the end. But it's all, there aren't any lyrics.
Okay.
So.
Here we go. Let's see.
Nice job, Michael.
Thank you.
So one of my friends, a good friend from here in Boise, Idaho, him and I write a ton of music together. He's like a real heavy metal ripper guitarist guy.
Awesome.
And he got into this world about 10 years ago. And I mean, he's just a guitar player, but he's learned how to produce his own music, as the years have gone on. He's getting a lot of work now making this kind of music. It goes under the name action rock.
Wow.
So action rock is a real thing. It's a style of music specific to the TV world where you can imagine there's high flying action, as you mentioned, monster truck rallies, maybe MMA fighters coming out, boxing entrances, anything that's a real macho type of program. That's what's going to end up using this kind of music. And there's a lot of that stuff out there. So there's a lot of potential. The only thing I'm going to tell you, Michael, because it seems like you've got your hands on what makes a good action rock or metal sound, is not to try to sound like I'm pimping out my own YouTube channel, but go to my YouTube channel and watch some of the videos about the construction and arrangement of an instrumental cue.
Okay.
And if you can get your hands on or get a handle on the way a real instrumental cue is arranged, then you just can take this style and make this music for days, and you'll find homes for it everywhere.
Okay. Thank you. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. And just as like a 10,000 foot overview, an instrumental cue is going to be about 90 seconds to 2 minutes long.
Okay.
And I did see that this was like 8 minutes.
Yeah.
And I know you said it was designed for vocals. So if you are interested in getting some TV action, making cues is its own art form, and it really borrows nothing at all from typical songwriting strategies. So you have to relearn music arrangement and music production. But once you figure it out, dude, you're going to have a lot of opportunity.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. Good job, man.
Thank you.
There's one thing that I was wondering too, Michael. Did you mix that on headphones?
Yes, I did.
That's what I thought. See, one of the problems when you mix on headphones is that you've got that sonic coupling to your head. So you're hearing a lot more bass than you normally would. And when you mix it like that, then there's no bass on the mix.
Oh,
And
gotcha.
so it sounded really thin. You know, I mean, it could have sounded a lot better, but
Okay.
yeah, try to find some good speakers so you know what you're doing with that. So,
Okay. Yeah.
all right,
Thank you.
sure.
Okay, this last one's mine. It's called Stop, and basically this is essentially a cue for film TV placements, and it's basically let's call it two verses and an outro. It's about a minute and a half long, and so I think I'm curious as to what you hear in terms of potential placements. I know what I hear, but that can be different.
Cool.
Here we go.
All right. Thanks, Steven. I don't know if were you guys getting like a kind of a glitchy. Yeah, okay. I could still hear it good enough, Steven.
Oh, okay. I didn't. I should have put it on stereo maybe or something. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I think I heard it well enough to at least give you some good feedback.
Okay.
There was one part in there that came up twice, which was I thought super usable for comedic shows. Do you guys ever watch a show called Impractical Jokers?
Haven't heard of that one.
Oh my goodness. Oh, you gotta watch this thing. It's on, I don't even know what channel it's on. It was on True TV. I think they might have moved it to Comedy Central. I don't know. Anyways, if you just Google it, like look at YouTube, Impractical Jokers. It's an unscripted reality show where these guys just do practical jokes against each other on unsuspecting people in the public. And they're always using funky, upbeat rock music. I mean, that's almost exclusively their sonic palette. It's usually a little bit faster than what you've got, Steven, because these guys are like, I mean, they're just a mile a minute. So the energy of the music needs to be just a little bit faster than what you had. But watch that show and see if you can envision your music in there. Okay. I could in those two sections that went dun dun doodle dun 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 doodle dun dun dun.
Yeah.
And that only came up twice, but that was the part that I thought was usable and could be expanded on. So my advice to you is there was a part that came at the beginning of the song, and then it came after the part I was just talking about. It came up again.
Right.
And
no, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. You even, as you were making a description, you called them verses.
Right.
Right. And they sounded like an instrumental verse that was just waiting for lyrics to go over the top of it. And unfortunately, that's not the sound of instrumental cues.
Okay.
Instrumental cues, they're like standalone things. So we shouldn't be left thinking, oh, this is a verse that needs some lyrics on top of it. Because I mean, the music just carries the show.
Sure.
So I think if you took that one section, that dun 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 dun, and just take that as a starting point and expand it on that theme, you probably have something that would be this cool, funky, comedic piece of music that would work on an Impractical Jokers type show.
Sounds good. I do have one question in terms of instrumental cues. What are the magic numbers on how long they should be?
About 90 seconds to 2 minutes.
Okay. It's not shorter, not 30 seconds, 20 seconds? No?
No.
Okay.
Even though a show will probably only use a segment of it that's 8 to 20 seconds long, the beauty of a real cue, well, I mean, if you only give them 20 seconds, then all they can use is 20 seconds. Okay, so every now and then something does get used from top to bottom. I mean, it's very, very rare, but it does happen. It's happened to me a handful of times where a minute and 45 duration gets played from top to bottom. Okay. And I mean, if you don't have that length in there, then you can't get those types of placements. But a good cue within the minute and a half to 2 minutes has a lot of sectional variation. And I've got videos on this on my YouTube channel. In fact, there's one that I'll just tell you to watch. It's called the King, Queen, Jack, Ace video. Like, you'll find it there. It's me holding some playing cards that say King, Queen, Jack, Ace. Okay, so watch that one. And the beauty of a cue is that it'll give you variations on a section 3 or 4 or 5 times. Mm-hmm. So if there's a 20-second section that an editor really, really liked and they wanted to use it on their show, but then when they put it in there, all of a sudden it's way too busy. And the characters are talking. You can't understand what they're saying because the music is just, there's too much going on. Then you've got another section that's dialed back. Okay. So they're like, okay, well, I really like the track, but I got to use this sparse section. And if that one's too much, then there's a third section that's even more sparse. And then, oh, gosh, now the people are done talking. Now I got to send this out to a commercial. Here's this gigantic climax of an ending. So we'll use that. So a good cue within the minute and a half to 2 minutes will have all these choppable sections that can be used depending on the need.
Gotcha.
So that's why they have to be as long as they are. It's for variety's sake and just options.
Very good advice. Yeah.
One of the things that I've also heard too is that it's better to have a button ending or like it's a clean ending instead of a fade out like he's got on there. Is that?
Yep. That was another thing I was going to mention. Yeah, your song it had an anticlimactic fade out of an ending,
right?
Which will never be usable by an editor. In fact, I've got videos on this too, and I even show like walkthroughs on how to make what I call sting endings. And they're very simple to make, and you guys would just be blown away if I were to show you my cue sheets and show you the amount of 1 to 3 second placements that I've landed with my music. And it took me a long time to figure out, like, how are they just using 1 to 3 seconds of this cue that I made? And then I watched it in practice. What they were doing is they were taking my ending and using it as an exclamation point before they sent off to a commercial. Or sometimes they would put it at the end of somebody else's track if they didn't have a good enough ending. So they'd use my ending on someone else's track. And then, like, here's me coming in, taking some money that should have been somebody else's, because all I really did was just like hit things 3 times. But they're easy to make. So Stephen, check out the video on sting endings and check out that King, Queen, Jack, Ace video as well. And I think if you're really wanting to get into this world, then watch them all.
Sounds good. Thank you.
I hope that doesn't sound like self-aggrandizing or whatever, but
no. If you've had that many placements, you're doing all these things right. So your advice is very, very useful.
Oh, good.
Nothing speaks to success like success.
It is very true.
And is it okay for people to find you on social media and stuff? And
oh yeah, I'm really not on social media. I've got an Instagram, which I mean, it's not really about my music stuff. I'm an amateur bodybuilder as well in my spare time, so it's a lot of pictures of me without my shirt on. But you can find me there. Whatever. If you really wanted any music advice, then just check out my YouTube channel. And other than that, I'm pretty much a ghost on the internet. I don't
What's
have
your title of
Facebook
your
or-
YouTube channel?
YouTube channel is Matt's Music Minute.
Okay.
Let's see. I think I got this chat thing here. Let me just
Yeah.
type it in. Okay.
There it is. Okay.
There it is.
All right.
Yeah. And hopefully that helps some of you. It's really my YouTube channel is really geared towards people writing instrumental cues. Since songs are not necessarily my forte, although I've done enough songs and had enough success with them through the past 15 years to be confident in the feedback that I'm giving you guys. But just know that the instrumental cues, that's how I afford my house and everything else in life.
All right. Well, anybody else have any other questions or comments or? No?
I've got a question for you, Jimmy.
All right.
We've had synthesizers now for 50 years, and a synth is really not an instrument.
Well, it kind of is, actually.
But they put the sound together. So would you call that AI?
No, not at all, because it has no reference to anything else. Like a synth can make a sound, but it needs somebody to hit the keys to make that sound. AI is AI, so you can say, "Hey, AI, make that sound," and AI will do the sounds for you. So it's a whole different thing.
Well, the key word there is generative AI.
Right.
Generative means it comes up with something put together with the language models it's gotten, what it's been trained on. So it's creating something new depending on what it's been trained on. Yeah.
So like a drum machine, for example, is closer to AI, but it's still not quite AI because, it is generative in a sense that it kind of knows what to play because you're picking a particular groove. There was a thing that I had a while back called the Mad Player, and that was the closest thing to AI back about 30 years ago. And the Mad Player was interesting because you could actually just drop in a genre and just keep hitting a button until you got something that sounded like what you wanted it to be. Yeah, that was really an interesting thing. And those
Actually, I have Logic Pro, and there's some pretty cool stuff. I suppose it's considered AI, but if you write out your chord chart, you can just add a piano player or a bass player, and it gives you lots of different feels. If you want arpeggios or block chords, it sounds pretty authentic. But it's good for demos and stuff. But I suppose it is AI because it's the software creating the track.
Yeah, but then again, Tom, I'm not sure if that does qualify because, and again, like I told you guys, I don't do AI stuff, so I don't even know if I totally understand it correctly. Could be speaking out of my ass here. But from the way I understand it is AI is going out to wherever the training ground is, and it's finding data to emulate. And that goes all the way from the playing style to the sounds of the drums. I mean, everything. It's just copying what's out there and making a cohesive final product. Whereas these synth randomizers or the like drum plugins that you could, give me a drum pattern in the style of Led Zeppelin. It's not really the same thing because you've got drums that are just part of the program.
Yeah.
There's nothing running out to the internet to source Led Zeppelin's kick drum and bring it back and like amalgamize it into a drum track. That's my understanding of it, but take that with 2 grains of salt.
All right. I've done some session singing, and do you find that people are not hiring session singers as much because you can just have AI create backing tracks?
In my world?
For backing vocals, I mean.
I never use it. No, but I've got a stable of artists that I work with, like vocalists, and gosh, if I ever put an AI against their vocal, they'd want to kill me first of all.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it just doesn't have the integrity.
Yeah.
So I just wouldn't do it. And I don't know of that many people that work in my world that are doing anything like that. I mean, we're so well, we've been so highly trained through the years that to think about outsourcing our job to a computer, that's
Yeah.
kind of like,
Yeah.
well, then what was the point of all the work I did to get here?
You're a job creator.
Yeah, yeah.
It's better that way.
Well, guys, you were a lovely audience. Thank you for letting me spend the evening with you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you for coming
Thanks,
out.
Matt.
You're
Appreciate
welcome. Yeah, I hope to see you all at a road rally or something. Jimmy, I know we've met before because you look familiar to me. I don't know if we've met or if we've just walked past each other in passing. But Tom, I certainly recognize you. Stephen, I do recognize you as well. But thanks for telling me it was from the lunches. And anyways, I hope to see you guys again at some point. And when you finally do get James Koshin online with you, then you'll see how much of an amateur I really am.
Well, you're coming from different worlds, and that's the whole thing. So
We do. Yep, we totally do.
And I do need to get your physical address too, so I'll email you on that, so I can send you our the mug that we send to all of our guest speakers.
Oh, I'd love a little coffee mug. Hell
Yeah. So you get that, and then it's funny because there's a lot of people in this industry that have spoken at SongNet, and when they see each other and they have the mug, hey, you were at that too. So it's kind of cool.
I will drink out of it proudly.
Yeah, or at least send us a photo of you holding it and stuff. So
awesome. Yeah.
Okay, so our next guest speaker is going to be our regular attorney guy, Ben McLean, and he was also at Taxi. So Ben's been doing our attorney night now for about over a dozen years, and it's been really good. So you can ask those $1,000 questions for free. Hey,
There you go. Beauty.
Yeah, and of course, Matt, you're welcome to join in too.
Awesome. I just might do that. Jimmy, thank you.
Yeah, sure. So anytime, you guys are all welcome. We do have our in-person showcase on the 18th, which actually turns out to be Ash Wednesday. I don't know. Well,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, bring your Christian songs. That'll be good.
Well, you would have gone to church early and gotten your ashes already, right?
Yeah, something like that. We could,
I mean, so
burn your steak. Okay, anyway, so it's all good, and hopefully we'll see you guys around soon. And thanks again, Matt.
Oh, my pleasure, guys. My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
Okay.